Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about a February no spend challenge and why it might just be better than a January. So we're going to talk about why you should do it and how you should do it. So let's get to it. Okay, listen, January is usually the month that I have done no spends and I've struggled with them. I think because January, you are in survival mode. It is right after the holidays. You've probably spent, a lot of money or overspent and you're having sort of a spending hangover. And also things aren't really over when January hits from the holidays. Maybe you have to return things or maybe your children were like, that's not what I wanted. And then they want to swap things out and you might have to spend a little bit extra to get whatever it was that they wanted to switch. Anyway, if you have kids, you understand what I'm talking about. So I always feel like January is sort of like recovery, which is why it was good, or it is good as a no spend. But the first week, especially in January, is very challenging. And I think what happens a lot of times is that you might be like all gung ho, we're going to do this January no spend. But January, a lot of annual fees often hit for things. I know we have a AAA membership, so that annual fee is always due in January. And you probably have some other things that come up at that time. And so and of course, those things don't always necessarily count towards your no spend because they should be planned items, these annual fees that come up. But still, it's like you might get discouraged and you might begin the no spend month and then you might fall off the wagon pretty quickly. And then you're just like, oh, I just already failed. I'm not even going to bother. Okay, so January can be a tough month to do a no spend. So February is shorter. It's a shorter month, which means that you can get through it quicker, less room for failure, so you can have more momentum going. So that's one reason. Another reason is that the New Year's pressure is over. You don't have New Year's Eve stuff. And also, Valentine's Day is the only holiday, if you celebrate Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, is the only holiday that month. So it's not tremendous amounts of pressure typically for that holiday as far as spending goes. Also, there's a lot of things you can do for Valentine's Day that are inexpensive or don't cost any money at all to do with your loved one. Okay, and then finally, as far as why to do a February no spend, is it sort of builds momentum for spring. So spring is coming, it's kind of exciting, then summer, so it sort of helps you to save up some money. Maybe you have to pay some deposits for some summer vacations or what have you. So if you are doing a no spend in February, it helps you to build up your savings a little bit or to, pay off some debt that you might have acquired during the holiday season, and then you can go into spring sort of that fresh sort of spring cleaning, fresh, I don't know, everything feels fresh and new and good in the spring. Especially right now we have like 2 feet of snow outside and it's hecka cold. Okay, so how do you do a no spend February without failing? Well, the first step is to define what that means to you. What is a no spend? And that might be like, I'm just not going to spend money. But you probably do have to spend some money. Obviously, you still have to buy groceries. You still have to pay your rent or mortgage. Those things don't count. So anything that you sort of have known is coming, if you have some kind of membership fee that you have to pay for yourself or your gym or whatever, it could mean that you're going to pause your gym membership for the month and not spend that money, and that's part of your no spend. Or so you might be like, I need that gym membership, I need it for my mental health and as well as my physical health. Then that you want to keep that in there. It's like a known payment. So you have to define exactly what you're doing with this no spend. Does it just mean you're not going to eat out? You're not going to do any kind of extracurricular shopping? You're not going to buy anything, like go out with friends and go thrifting like I like to do? You're like, okay, I'm not going to be doing any thrifting in February. It's cut off. No, not going to do any kind of shopping. But you have to define the terms, and you have to do so if you have a partner and you guys are doing this together. If it's just you, then you can write it down to keep yourself accountable. But you need to have some guidelines there as far as what counts towards no spend and what doesn't. This is about saving money. So you want to try to cut things where you can. Don't be like, I really need need to have that Wawa hoagie every Friday, so I'm not cutting that out. Like maybe this is the month you're like, okay, I'm not having any hoagies, I'm not going to stop at any convenience stores, I'm not going to pick up any extra coffees. But like I said, you need to define it, what no spend means to you. Next is step 2, which is to make an exceptions list. Okay, we just talked about defining the rules. Now what you're going to do is do you need a cheat throughout the month? Do you need one day where you're like, okay, on the 15th or Valentine's Day, maybe that's your cheat, maybe February 14th, you're like, okay, that's the day we're going to go out to eat, that we have that planned, we're going to do that. So we have one exception here, like something that we're going to do. Or maybe you just need it to be flexible. You need to have, 2 days throughout the month where you can stop and you can pick up a coffee, on the, at Starbucks or whatever you like, whatever you usually like to do. So you have something that's built in, some kind of exception, and it's like written down. So it is planned, it's allowable, and it helps you to get through the month with your no spend. All right, next is to plan your meals. What can you do to front load things? Meaning, like, can you pre-prepare a bunch of freezer meals for the month? So that way you don't end up overspending on groceries. Groceries are expensive. It's very difficult to manage if you're working and you've got kids and you're going on the go. And so food is one of those things that if it is not pre-planned as far as how you're going to eat, what dinners you're going to eat, and you purchase it in advance, maybe you buy some things in bulk for the month and you're like, that's it. If you start to it can get away from you is what I'm trying to say. You get hungry and then you're just like, oh, forget it. Let's just go buy convenience food of some sort. Like that's very easy to do when you're stressed out, you're tired, and you're hungry, and so you want to try to pre-plan your meals as best as you can as far as how you're going to manage it. If you need to have a schedule as far as what nights you're eating what you're purchasing, try to take some time to think about it as far as what you're going to do there. Also, try to commit to eating your leftovers. Okay, let's try to replace spending with some kind of substitute, meaning that instead of going shopping, we're going to organize a drawer. Okay, so you want to try to create some substitutes for yourself for whatever habit you have that usually triggers you to spend, whether it's Amazon shopping, delete that app, number one. So you want to try to remove any apps on your phone that you tend to go to purchase. For me, sometimes it's, great garden plants. All right. I have to delete the app. I have to unsubscribe from those emails so they don't send me any kind of, 20% off coupons that tempt me to want to buy some new hydrangeas for my yard. Okay, I love hydrangeas. But you got to delete those apps and then substitute it with something else that you can do for the month. Try to maybe get a book. You can get one from the library or on the Libby app, something that maybe you want to be reading, or like I said, you want to spend the month of February decluttering, kind of preparing for that spring cleaning. You want to, maybe start to, instead of buying stuff, to purge stuff, start getting bags and boxes of things you're going to donate. Start donating things as opposed to bringing things in. You're going to commit to bringing things out of your house and kind of decluttering. Whatever it is for you, but try to locate some things that are substitutes for spending that you can do in this month that you are not spending extra money. Okay, next is to track every dollar that you didn't spend. If you usually go out or you spend $30 going out to eat, or buying sandwiches one day a week for you and your partner, write it down. You didn't do it. So you saved that $30. Like even if it's just on a notepad, anything that helps give you momentum, makes you feel like, you can do this, you got this. You want to try to pep yourself up. Okay, and then next is, what are you saving for? Right? You need to know exactly where this money is going to go. Are you saving to add more money to your debt snowball, pay off debt? Are you saving for your emergency fund? Are you saving to pay off Christmas? Or are you saving to pay for AP exams for your kids like I'm doing? There has to be some kind of goal there, something that you're working towards, because otherwise you're more likely to quit. So have it very clear as far as what this extra savings is going to be used for once you save it. Okay, now this last one is very important. If you mess up, don't quit, because you likely will mess up. I mess up all the time. Like I am constantly messing up. But the point is that I don't quit. I don't stop. All right. Just keep on going, right? You can't stop. So if you mess it up, just the next day, it's a new day and you can start again and you can continue on. So don't beat yourself up and try not to get too discouraged. And we are all human and we're just walking around this planet screwing things up every day. We're all making mistakes constantly. I don't care who you are. We're all making some kind of mistakes and we all have shame and embarrassment and we feel angry and like we do things that we just like regret and we have to live with these thoughts and lay down and go to bed at night and sometimes think about these things that we wish we hadn't done. And like we're just all, the older you get, the more of that there is. So we're all just sort of, and I just do my best to not dwell on those thoughts, right? Because we all have them. And so if you've made a mistake and you're like, oh man, I messed up. Like I wasn't supposed to spend, and then I went online and I spent $50 on Amazon or $200. And I just like, oh, I mean, it's over. I can't do this. Like I'm telling you, you can do this and just start again. It's okay, right? Tomorrow is a new day and you're going to begin again and you've got this. You're going to get it as long as you don't quit. You don't give up. You keep trying. You're going to get there. It just might take longer, but that's fine. It's okay. It's all part of the journey. We're all here every day, striving, journeying towards becoming better people and to improving our lives in the best way we can. Every day we learn new things and meet new people or are exposed to different content or different books that helps us to think about things in a new way. And so as long as you don't stop trying to better yourself and stop trying to learn new things, then you're going to make it. You're going to be all right. And so just wanted to make sure I say that it's all right to mess up. It doesn't mean you're a failure. Okay, so we're doing this No Spend February. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so let's try to save some money, and it's all about awareness and dedication and momentum and goals. And so please leave a comment down below. And what is your goal? Are you going to be doing No Spend February along with me? And let's see how different it is from a No Spend January. Does it feel better? And if you did a No Spend January, maybe you want to keep the momentum going and continue into February and save even more money, which is amazing. So let's do it. All right, guys, if it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe and I'll talk to you in the next video.